So here is today's assignment, read and write decimals to the thousandth, part 2. So like I mentioned, today we're going to be kind of focusing a little bit more on expanded form and using fractions and decimals in expanded form, okay, using both, because both of those will show up on your IAR. I know we're not taking that, but both of them will show up in your curriculum for next year too. So we're going to look at that. If we read, we're going to practice matching decimal numbers to expanded forms, writing standard numbers from their expanded forms, writing expanded forms using both fractions and decimals, and then last, converting between fractions and decimals. That's what we're focusing on today.
I have to refresh my screen. I'll be right back.
I need you to go on mute, honey, because I'm recording. Okay, so this one should be pretty straightforward. You are reading the standard form, and you're just going to match it with the same color. You're going to put the same color on the same one that matches. So 60 and 804 thousandths, right? So make sure that the numbers that the digits being multiplied by the place that it's in. So we're looking for one in this one where the 6 is in the tens place. So I'm looking for one that starts with 6 times 10. Well, there's 3 that I see start with 6 times 10. I'm going to move that out of the way so I can look. This one, the first one, this fourth one, and the fifth one all start with 6 times 10, so then I got to keep going. No ones. The 8 is in the tenths place, so I'm looking for 8 times 1/10. Okay, first one has 8 times 1/10 also. Let's see, that fourth one, nope, it's got 8 times 1, so that one's already out. Second one, or the fifth one has 8 times 10, so it's just the first one and the fifth one in the running. That 4 is in the thousandths place, so I'm looking for one that has 4 times 1,000. And I can see that that's this one right here, 4 times 1,000. So actually, oh, that's why, because, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, I was looking at this one. 8 times the 10th, yeah. 4 times 100, and so that's not, it has a 4 times 1,000, but it also has 4 times 100. It can't be that one. It's got to be that fifth one. So just put that little red box right on top of there, and I know that that one matches. That's that example. Here, slow but steady. All right, we're going to be writing our own. So again, if you need that place value chart that that I put into the assignment, please pull it up, please write it down, and put your numbers into the correct places. So I'm going to give you essentially an example of what not to do and then an example of what to do. I'm going to make this one in red because it's going to be what not to do. Red. Red. Okay, so what a lot of friends are going to think to do is just put these numbers in order. 1, 4.6. Okay? Now, this number would be 14.6 or 14 and 6/10. But I can tell that this number should not be, that 6 should not be in the tenths place. That's how I know it's wrong. So if I'm actually using my chart, I should know that the 6 should be in the hundredths place, which means that I need a placeholder 0, right? Goodness, computer, I believe in you. There we go. So it's going to be the 1 in the tens place, 4 in the ones place. I get my decimal because I'm going to break into parts of a whole. I need a 0 in the tens place, and then the 6 in the hundredths place. That's the only way the 6 makes it to the hundredths place, is using that placeholder 0, okay? So just remember that this one is not correct. I'm actually going to draw a little line through it. Not correct, all right? And then in the next slide, I've actually already done one example for you. So as you can see, you're going to be writing the expanded form just in 2 different ways. So remember to take each digit and show what place it's in, either by multiplying it by that place. If the 4 is in the tens place, I multiplied it by 10. The 8 is in the ones place, I multiplied it by 8. Zeros I can skip. The 7 is in the hundredths place, so I multiplied it by 1/100th, the fraction, right? Fractions. And the 3 is in the thousands place, so I multiplied it by 1,000. When I'm in decimals, the only thing that changes is that you're putting the actual value. So that 4 in the tens place is worth 40, 8 in the ones place is worth 8, 7 in the hundredths place is worth 0.07, 3 in the thousands place is worth 0.003. Okay, so that's the example for that one. Let's keep it going. This is a matching game. So if you're reading it out loud, you're going to match the fraction for the part of the whole, the decimal bit, to the fraction on the bottom. So you're going to match the standard number to the fraction on the bottom. So if I read that first one, 3 and 705 thousandths. Okay? So my whole number is just 3. So I can already get rid of I'm not even looking at these first 3 because those have 30, 37, and 30. Oh, and that last one, 37. Nope, my whole number is just 3. So it's got to be one of these two. Is it 75 thousandths or 705 thousandths?
It's 75.
So I'm looking here. Does that number say 75?
Oh, wait. Sorry, it's because I was looking at the one under it. Sorry.
Looking here. Does it say 75 thousandths?
No, it's 3 and 705 thousandths.
705 thousandths. So I can just move that one up here. So make sure you know how to read them, because if you don't know if you read them incorrectly to yourself, you're going to pick the wrong one. Okay, so make sure you know how to read them.
I think I just made.
All right, let's look at this next one. We're almost done with our recording bit, and then we'll jump into questions. Okay, here, write each value as a fraction. So essentially what you did in the last one, we're going to do that this time. So remember to read them, read what's in front, and then read what's behind separately so you know what to put in each part. So the whole number here is, anybody?
Where? What?
The whole number in this first box?
5.
It's 5.
Oh,
excellent. 5. Okay, then we're going to go up here, and what fraction is it?
48,000.
Good, 48,000. So you see how being able to read it is going to tell you exactly what the, 48 on top, and then on bottom we said thousandths, so I'm going to turn that into 1.
48 goes on top, thousands go on the bottom.
There you go. 5 and 48 thousandths. So there you go. There's your fraction. All right? That's essentially what you're doing. As long as you can read it, you can say it. Here in the example, or in our little anchor chart, they do show you how to simplify it. I will take it. We did talk about how on the test, if you do not simplify, that's okay, and they will still accept that answer. It is okay if you do not simplify these, okay? I'm fine with that. Okay,
You saved me from a division nightmare. Division is not my strong suit.
Eventually, you will have to know how to turn a fraction into a decimal, which is more of the division. This page, there's a lot of questions, a lot of them, but it's really just reading out loud, right? 4 and 700ths. That means there's 4 holes, which 4 goes in front of my decimal.
4.07.
4 point, and then, yep, 7 in the hundredths place. That means I need a placeholder 0. So 0 in the tenths, 7 in the hundredths place. Okay? There we go. All right, good. I'm glad you guys got that one. And here is that last page. The most important thing about this last page is that there are 3 questions on here, and each question has more than one correct answer. And you just have to use the check marks to show which answers are correct, okay? You won't use all of the check marks, but there should be more than one correct answer for each of these. So which value equals 20 and 609 thousandths? Okay? So what I would suggest... is either find first the standard form, because then you can look and compare it to the other forms, okay? So our standard form, I'm glad you like math, Isabella. Our standard form, 20 is the whole number, right? It's before the and. So any of these that have 20 or 2 in the tens place, all right, we've got 3 of them. First one, third one, fourth one. But that should be the only whole number, so nothing else should be a whole number. This one's got a 6 in the hundredths place. That's wrong. It's not that one. We don't need that. So it's either going to be this top one or this bottom one, okay? 609,000. So this whole part right here should be the decimal. It should be behind the decimal. 609,000. So this has a 6 in the ones place. Wrong. But I do see 609 behind the decimal in this one, so I'm going to grab a check mark and put it on that one, because I can see the 609 behind it, behind the decimal, and I know that that part is correct. Okay? And then, so now I want to find one that matches that. We already know that this one is not it, because it's obviously a different standard form. Here we said the 6 is in the hundreds place, which is not the same as the hundredths place. That should be a fraction, so that one's wrong. But we can look here. 20 in the tens place, that 2 in the tens place, correct. 6 in the tenths place, that part is still correct. And 9 in the thousandths place, that part is correct. So I can grab another check mark because that one is also correct. All right. So just using the check marks to show correct answers. I'm going to leave you guys to do these other two. But I will say, use this place value chart if you need to. If you need to move it over or things like that, please use that. Because it will be very helpful. And also just writing down the standard form yourself so you can compare it, the standard form, expanded form, and things like that, so you can compare it, or word form if you need to. All right? I would suggest doing that yourself. That is the work for today and some examples. I'm going to stop the recording, but email me if you have any questions. Say bye, friends.
Yay!
We're not actually getting off. I'm just going to